Greetings and salutations and all the good things of life. Welcome to another Rocky Mountains Ranking Special Saturday. And if you saw my earlier one of Nazareth, you know what I'm going to be doing this one, and that's Black Sabbath, doing my top 20 Black Sabbath songs. I know I should have done my top 20 with Nazareth, but I'd already written everything out, and it is what it is. So, doesn't mean I only like 10 songs from Nazareth. I love a ton. Um, and I love a ton of Black Sabbath tunes. Um, I could have done a lot more than just 20 Black Sabbath songs, but I didn't want to be here all night. So, anyway, Sabbath, born in Birmingham in 1968, used to be called Earth. Ozzy didn't like the song or the name Earth. I don't think the others did. So, coming out of Vanu one day, they looked across the road and Geezer Butler saw the movie Black Sabbath playing, and Geezer, I believe, said, "Well, what? Would imagine some band calling themselves that," and they called themselves that, and the rest is history. Of course, the band consisted of Tony Iommi, Bill Ward, Geezer Butler, and John Ozzy Osbourne. Fantastic band, love them. Went through a lot of ups and downs. What can you say? It is what it is. And they've got a good discography now. I'm going to do songs from basically all the incarnations of Black Sabbath. I'm not going to just settle for the Ozzy era because I like them all. I've got all the albums. So I did do a ranking the albums this past year. I think back in spring, maybe can't remember. Maybe it might have been last fall. I don't know. Can't remember. But anyway, this is the top 20. Like I said, I could have done more, but we're gonna do 20. I'm gonna start with number 20 and work all the way to number 1. Just because number 20 doesn't mean I hate it. It just means that's where it landed. Everything can't be number 1, right? Well, maybe it can. It can be. If you want to be every song you like, want to be number 1. Hey, that's fine. So anyway, let's get into this, shall we? Number 20, a song that just was very haunting. I just love the vocals. Tony Martin does the vocals on this one. Off their album Cross Purposes, released in 1994. Sorry, Virtual Death. I just love the bass, doom, 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 and the guitar and everything. Oh, it's just awesome. And Tony's vocals, flat, but to the point. So that's number 20. Number 19, going to the Dio, Return, off of Dehumanizer, 1992. TV Crimes, hard driving heavy metal right there. Just awesome. Doom, doom. The guitars and drums, just hard driving force. Dio's vocals, fantastic. I mean, I think this album surprised the hell out of us. I know it did me when all of a sudden I'm going through the albums at, I think, Musicland. And what's this? Black Sabbath? Dio's back? Along with Vinny Appice? I mean, like, oh my heck. Who knew? But from the very first song to the end. It was just awesome. Number 18 from the same album, Sins of the Father. Oh, didn't like the song when I first heard it, but it's just one of those songs that just grows on you over time. It's like a fine wine coming to fruition here, just getting better with age. Sins of the Fathers, just, awesome song. Number 17, we're going to the Headless Cross album, released in 1989. Great album. And this song is just haunting. And just metal at its best. When Death Calls. When Death Calls. Ooh. Tony's vocals on this, it's awesome. I know the moment I heard this song, I fell in love with it. Awesome. Number 16, going to the Mob Rules album. Now, the Sign of the Southern Cross. Dio. I mean, every single person who has sung with Black Sabbath has just done an awesome job. But Sign of the Southern Cross, fell in love with it immediately when I heard it. Number 15, we're going to Ozzy era finally. I know a lot of you are probably going, what about Ozzy? Why are you skipping Ozzy? No, I'm not going to skip Ozzy. I'd never skip Ozzy, Mr. John Osborne. But we're going to the Sabotage album with that funky cover. The guys didn't know they were going to be doing a photo shoot. And they showed up with wearing just about anything, especially Bill. Those red leotards that are supposedly his wives. And he was wearing no underwear. Who goes out wearing no underwear? Especially leotards. Oh, God. And a leather jacket. But anyway, number 15, Megalomania. In fact, Bill Ward says that's his favorite song off the album. He says there's so much going on there, and it is. It's just prog metal at its best. If you've never heard Megalomania, check it out. Number 14, going back to the Headless Cross album. The opening tracks and the Gates of Hell and the title track, Headless Cross. Just awesome. Who did the drums on this? I think, Cozy. Yeah, Cozy's drums. On the, when the Gates of Hell gets over and you go into the Headless Cross. And then Tony's guitar comes in and just, ooh. I knew the moment I heard this opening and the title track, I knew I was going to love this album. And I've never looked back. Okay, number 13, we're going to the only album to have Ian Gillan sing on it. And that's Born Again. And I remember when I heard that Ian was going to be doing vocals on this, I was like, how's that going to work? But when I heard this song, I just knew it was going to be a special moment. Unfortunately, it didn't last very long, but it gave us some good music. Zero the Hero. I mean, just I love it way, it's quiet. Just hard driving heavy metal. With Ian's funky lyrics, of course. When you gonna be? When you gonna be, brother? Zero, the hero. It was awesome. Number 12. Going to an album that a lot of people don't like. It was Ozzy's last album until he returned. They did 13, Never Say Die, and it's Junior's Eyes. The way that starts out with Bill's drumming and Geezer's bass, and it just kind of builds up, and Tony comes in with his guitar, and then Ozzy. A lot of people say that the whole album sucks. A lot of people, some people say, well, they love Junior's Eyes, they love this song, this song. I love the whole album. It was, I believe, my third album I ever bought of Black Sabbath. My first one was Paranoid. My second one was their compilation of hits, We Sold Our Soul for Rock and Roll, which got me further into Black Sabbath. And then I saw Never Say Die, and I just love it. A lot of people say it doesn't sound like Black Sabbath. True, it doesn't sound like their earlier stuff if you're comparing it to that. But they were trying to get away from the gloom and doom. They wanted to try different sounding music. And I don't blame them. If you stay in one rut of music, it's going to get boring after a while. When you're a musician, you're here to experiment and try different things. So, but anyway, number 12, Junior's Eyes. Okay, number 11. We're going to an album that was supposed to be Tony Iommi's solo album, but the powers that be at the record label had the final say, and they said, sorry, Tony, we're going to put this out of a Black Sabbath album. Of course, I'm talking about Seventh Star. The song is the opener, In for the Kill. Glenn Hughes sounds absolutely incredible on this album. I mean, and the In for the Kill, no quarter be shown. We just sends chills up my spine. I just love this song. Of course, the whole album, yeah, it's not the best of Sabbath, Sabbath could put out, but it's great. I mean, it's not upper echelons, but it's still in the area that I would consider it's a must-have. So, if you've never heard Seventh Star, check it out. And yes, the cover could have been different. Having Tony on the cover, they should have had the background, that whatever it is, that would have been better. No, nothing wrong about Tony, on the back, yes, but not on the cover. Of course, like I said, it was supposed to be a solo album. Okay, number 10. Now we're going to another album a lot of people don't care for. It's the second one with Tony Martin on vocals. Or no, I take that back. The third one with Tony Martin on vocals. Yeah, okay. A lot of people don't like this album. I love it. I fell in love the moment I put it on. It's Tear. Trying to do a little experimentation with Norse mythology Anyway, the song is three separate songs back to back. Battle of Tyr, Odin's Court, and Valhalla. They're three separate songs, but in order to enjoy them, they have to be listened to in that order. Battle of Tyr, Odin's Court, and Valhalla. I mean, without each one of these together, it doesn't make any sense. It's not enjoyable, at least not to me. But it just starts out quietly, acoustic guitar, and Tony's haunting vocals, comes in on Odin's Court, and then just boom, hits the fan, just awesome. If you've never heard Battle Tyr, Odin's Court, and Valhalla together, check it out. Okay, number 9. Going back to the Mob Rules. As soon as I wet my whistle. Great opener for this album. So I'm talking about Turn Up the Night. Just like Neon Nights was a great opener for Heaven and Hell. I mean, this is so awesome, upbeat. Turn up the night. Turn up the night. It feels so right. Awesome. Of course, Mob Rules, another Class A album by Ronnie James and the boys. Okay, number 8. We're going to stay with Mob Rules. Another song that I've just has grown on me over the years. It's just, falling off the edge of the world. The way it starts quietly and just builds, and just start with one plane and you go to this next one. Just totally killer. Why they had a falling out, I'll never understand. But a lot of things go on behind the scenes, so it is what it is. Kind of makes you wonder if Ronnie hadn't left after the Mob Rules tour. I did see him on that tour. The only Black Sabbath concert I've ever seen was that. But it kind of makes you wonder if Ian Gillan would have joined the band, or what Born Again would have been, we'll never know. So that's number 8. Number 7, going to Tony Martin's first album with the band. The one that follows Seventh Star, that was supposed to have Ray Gillan on it. But things didn't work out right there. Eternal Isle album, the song is Ancient Warrior. Just Tony's there's no ending, no beginning of the old man's story. Just deep, doomy metal right there. Awesome. That whole, again, another fantastic album. I love the whole album, Eternal Isle. Some people don't care for it, the Tony Martin era, but if you've never heard Eternal Isle or Headless Cross Tear, any of those, check them out. Okay. Number 6, going back to Cross Purposes. Another awesome rocking song that's very, very proggy. Psychophobia. Oh, the chord changes, and who was playing? I know Cozy wasn't playing drums on that one, I don't think. Uh, Bobby Rodinelli. Rodinelli. He is on fire on that song. I mean, his drum work on Psychophobia is just off the charts. If you never heard that song, or this album for that matter, I mean, Bobby's drumming is excellent. I mean, I've heard him with Blue Oyster Cult. Uh, he does fantastic with Blue Oyster Cult, but right here on this song, he's just on fire. So that's number 6, Psychophobia. Okay, now we're at top 5 at 5. Back to the Ozzy era. You're probably going, well, Davies, you're not including too many Ozzy era songs. Well, like I said earlier, I could have made this top 40, top 50, but this is the songs I list the most of. So if you don't like it, tough. But number 5 off of Master of Reality, I'm talking about Children of the Grave. Now I remember the first time I heard this song was on their We Sold Our Souls for Rock and Roll, and the drum work and everything. It just, I didn't know what to make of it first. I'm like, God, this is strange, but I love it. I mean, and when I first heard Black Sabbath, I really didn't know what to make of them. I mean, at the time I was listening to Kiss and ELO and stuff like that. But when my sister bought me the Paranoid album, I just didn't quite know what to make of them. But when I re-listened to Paranoid, I thought, well, this is pretty good. So I went and bought We Sold Our Souls and fell in love. So with Children of the Grave, I mean, just, totally stupendous. Okay, number 4, going back, we're going to the Heaven and Hell album. And the opening track, Neon Nights. Again, fantastic opener. I mean, I've noticed through the years that Ronnie's work with Black Sabbath and his solo work, there's always been that opening song like Neon Nights. That just hard driving rock and roll. Like his last in line, he had We Rock. Same vein, just get you going. I'm going to smash you in the face right from the get-go, and you better love it. That's Neon Nights, number 4. Number 3, going to Dehumanizer again. First time I heard this song was on Wayne's World soundtrack, and there's 2 versions of this one off Dehumanizer. I like the Wayne's World version, the opening. Just incredible. The whole song. I mean, just get you going. You're living in a time machine, and you get to choose just where you are. Okay, now we're the number 2 and number 1. These songs mean a lot to me. They could change places even right now. I could just change my mind, the way I got them down. And they were differently placed. Just the best of the best of the best. Right here. Number 1 and number 2. So here we go. Going back all the way to the first album. Title track, title of the band, Black Sabbath. I can never get sick of that song. I just love it. I mean, it's haunting. It's doomy. It's just what Black Sabbath was made to be. You know, a doomy prog metal band. You know, and you've had a lot of bands over the years, Blue Oyster Cult being one, that have tried to copy what Sabbath's done. They've come close, but there's always going to be only one band that's Black Sabbath, and that's the de facto band. Uh, you have like I said, Blue Oyster Cult, Candlemass. Candlemass is the biggest influenced by Black Sabbath. They've even their bass player even stated that, especially this song. It's just what they are. So you're wondering, what's your number one, Davies? What is your number one? Well, we're going to the Mob Rules album. As with all songs, I just immediately fell in love. I mean, it's just from the get-go. Title track, The Mob Rules. There's so much, it's not a very long song, but there's so much going on there. I mean, it just pulls you in. It just grabs you by the collar and pulls you in. And that's what it did with me. And when that happens to me, it just means that I found another special song. The first song that did that to me was Detroit Rock City by Kiss. That was my my musical life-changing moment. That my junior high classroom, I believe it was 77. That moment I heard that opening of Kiss, with the radio guy talking, I believe it was Gene Simmons, talking in the background, and then he goes out and gets his car, and then do. I was forever changed. I could have went country. I was listening to stuff like John Denver, C.W. McCall. I'll listen to ABBA, But that changed my life right there. Same thing happened with Mob Rules. It just grabbed me right from the get-go. And I love songs like that. Not every song that I love pulls me in like that, but all these songs right here did at some point. A lot of them just eventually grew on me, but these are the songs that I find most special out of Black Sabbath. And like I said, I could have gone on and on about all their songs. Of course, I know there's some of you probably saying, well, Davies, what about Paranoid? Why didn't you put something from Paranoid or Volume 4, Sabbath, Bloody Sabbath? Yeah, I could have done that. But like I said, it would have been blown up to, instead of just these right here, these 20. So it is what it is. And just because they're not on this list doesn't mean I hate them. I love all Black Sabbath, From their first album up till their last album, 13. I even find something special in their album Forbidden, which was released in 1995. Last album with Tony Martin on vocals. All of them have something special to say to me. I'm sure the same can be said to you for you, that there's those albums or songs that mean something special. They always will be. And the great thing about music is what you don't find true today, a couple weeks, couple of months down the road, you could be listening to that album and that song that you didn't click, suddenly clicks. That's trying to think of an example. Most recently, and do you think I can think of one? No. When I get done with this recording, I'll think of it. But that song that you didn't get it, and all of a sudden, boom, you get it. I love that. I love that when a song or an album that you didn't like suddenly clicks. So, but there are those songs that probably will never click, or there are those songs that did click at one point that you absolutely don't like. Def Leppard's song "Phonograph." I hate that song. I'm sorry, but I hate it. It just, when I first heard it, I liked it, but it just, how could I put it? Just aged right out of existence to me. So anyway, there you have it. Let's do a little recap. Number 1, Mob Rules. Number 2, Black Sabbath. Number 3, Time Machine. Number 4, Neon Nights. Number 5, Children of the Grave. Number 6, Psychophobia. 7, Ancient Warrior. 8, Falling Off the Edge of the World. 9, Turn Up the Night. 10, Battle of Tyr, Odin's Court, Valhalla. Number 11, In for the Kill, No Quarter Be Shown. Number 12, Junior's Eyes. Number 13, Zero the Hero. Number 14, Gates of Hell, Headless Cross. Number 15, Megalomania. 16, Sign of the Southern Cross. 17, When Death Calls. 18, Sins of the Father. 19, TV Crimes. And 20, Virtual Death. There you have it. My top 20 favorite all-time Black Sabbath songs. Take it or leave it. Leave your own ranking down of the songs, your favorite top 20, 30, or 40, whatever you want to put. Put down your special songs for Black Sabbath. Please subscribe. It would just help my channel out, and I would love it immensely. I would come and spend time with you at your house. Just kidding. Hit the notification bell and like the video. Little thing helps my channel out. Monday on the regular Rocky Mountain rankings, I have not decided what I'm going to do, either ranking the songs or ranking somebody. We'll rank somebody. We'll just grab somebody off the street out here and say, we're going to rank you, buddy. You got no choice. You better hope you're number one. I'm just kidding. Trying to figure out something kind of hard. I've developed a constant migraine. And it's just behind my eyes there constantly. Why? I got to go to the doctor Monday. See if we can figure it out. But when you got a constant migraine, you don't want to do very much. You either want to sleep, just sit there and vegetate, or, Of course, you say, yeah, Dave, you say that all the time. You're busy here, busy there. Well, what can I say? I'm just a human being. So anyway, have a good one, and we'll see you all hopefully Monday morning. Have a good week, or good weekend, and good week.